What's up guys, my name is Ace, and today I wanted to talk all about the Camo challenge system in Call of Duty and many of the issues that I've been noticing pop up, especially in recent years with their Camo challenges, and how I would like to see it reworked for my perfect Call of Duty game. And diving right in, let's start getting into what I consider to be some of the issues that we've been seeing with Camo challenge systems, especially in these recent years. And the overarching issue that I have is it seems like Camo challenges have started to focus on squeezing out as much playtime as possible, even if this comes at the expense of a solid gameplay experience. In my opinion, these challenges should enhance the gameplay experience, not replace it. And for many people, it has replaced it. And now for many people, Call of Duty multiplayer has simply become about grinding for those Camo challenges. Even if you aren't necessarily having a good time doing it, you just feel that compulsive need. And this is something I have touched on in a recent video, and I do feel it is one of the big issues that COD multiplayer is currently facing. The player experience in many ways has been suffering because of an over-reliance on chasing player retention statistics and using any tool at their disposal, such as extremely long, monotonous, boring grinds that they know people are going to go through because they have that compulsive need, rather than just providing an amazing gameplay experience that people want to play and then enhancing that experience with engaging and enjoyable challenges on top of it. So like I said, that's a really general issue that I have with many of the Camo challenges lately, and most of the other issues that I talk about today are going to fall under this general umbrella. So let's dive into the first of these more specific issues, and this is forcing playstyles or actions that are not suited to that particular weapon or weapon class. An excellent example of this is in Vanguard, we have to get long shots with SMGs. Why is this a thing? Why are you forcing players to sit back and basically camp with SMGs, which aren't even designed to be used in that way, in order to complete Camo challenges? This doesn't enhance the gameplay experience at all. This is simply designed to keep a long, monotonous grind and keep you working on something to suck out as much playtime as possible. Additionally, on this point of forcing certain playstyles or actions that aren't suited to a particular weapon or weapon type, let's look back to Cold War. One of the worst Camo challenges in that game was getting double kills with launchers that could hardly get single kills, especially with how prevalent Flak Jacket was as a perk. That wasn't a fun or engaging challenge to be working for. That was pure frustration because the challenges were asking you to do something that was so far outside the realm of what that weapon is designed to be doing. Now you might be thinking these are challenges and they're supposed to be challenging you. And to some extent I agree with that, and I'm all for a bit of a challenge. Having said that though, the true challenge with going for the mastery camo is, at least in my opinion, mastering every gun in the game. And I never feel as though I'm mastering an SMG by going for long shots with an SMG. And I never felt as though I was mastering the launchers in Cold War when I was praying for the stars to align so I could maybe get a double kill every once in a while. That's not weapon mastery, and that doesn't enhance the gameplay experience at all, in my opinion, and therefore challenges like these would be eliminated in my perfect Call of Duty game. Next up, one of the bigger issues that I have with some of the Camo challenges in recent years, and even in some of the older Call of Duty games, is challenges that force or at least strongly encourage playstyles that would be considered undesirable for a long period of time. So let's unpack that a little bit. What I mean by undesirable playstyles would be playstyles that are unhealthy to the overall gameplay pacing and flow, such as the mounting challenges in Modern Warfare 2019, excessive long shots like we're seeing in Vanguard, not just on SMGs, but on basically all of the weapon classes. We need to get long shots and a lot of them, or challenges like prone kills, for instance. All of these challenges essentially force you to play in a way that is very campy and basically just sitting and waiting for an enemy to walk into your sights. And I do want to be clear, there's nothing necessarily wrong with choosing that playstyle if that's how you want to approach the game. It is absolutely a valid playstyle for those that choose that. However, if everybody is doing that, and if everybody is forced to do that if they want to complete their challenges, this can really harm the overall gameplay, even for the players that aren't working on Camo challenges and don't care about them at all. How many times have you had teammates just completely ignore the objective or just be a completely useless member of the team because they're just camping back in their spawn, mounted on a piece of cover, prone, or just sitting behind a piece of cover watching a single lane? How many times have you been frustrated by those players because they're just not helping the team out at all by doing that? On the flip side of that, for those that have gone through these challenges and maybe don't like that style of play where you're just sitting back and not being a useful member to the team, how frustrating is it knowing that you could be doing so much more, but at the end of the day, it's your time and you're working toward these challenges, and therefore the challenge comes first. And unfortunately, you just have to let the team lose if that means you're going to make progress on your challenge. Once again, this is a clear example of these challenges not enhancing the gameplay in any way. If anything, this is harming the gameplay experience, not only for yourself by forcing you into this very one-dimensional playstyle, but also for your teammates that aren't getting any benefit from you selecting this playstyle. So in my perfect Call of Duty game, while creating challenges for camos, I would always make sure to refer to this criteria. Does this harm the gameplay experience for you and for other players? Or does this encourage healthy, desirable gameplay, such as objective play? And that's something that I feel has been missing from camo challenges since the beginning. I think their idea behind not tying camo challenges to objectives is they want people to be able to complete camo challenges in any game mode. So if players only want to play team deathmatch and they never want to play anything else, they should be able to get all of their camos. I disagree with this. I think it would be a great thing to include objective-related camo challenges, even if that means players will have to branch outside of team deathmatch or free-for-all in order to complete those. In doing so, this would encourage healthy gameplay while also giving you a much wider variety of choice as to how you want to complete this. So let's just say we have to get X number of attack or defend kills. And attacking or defending will apply to basically all objective game modes out there. And in doing this, it gives the player full control over how they want to approach this. They're not forced into one single one-dimensional playstyle. If they want to camp back and just defend a flag, they can do that. Or if they want to work on that same challenge, they can be really aggressive and jump on the flag while also getting kills. The main point is, no matter which of the approaches you take in regards to this particular challenge, both of these are healthy playstyles. They encourage you to be helping the team out, and they give you various options as to how you would like to approach that, which is far more engaging than forcing one specific playstyle on you. But next up, let's get into another issue that has popped up with camo challenges, largely just in Vanguard, although to some degree we've seen this in some previous Call of Duty games. And this is quite simply, it can take far too long just to unlock the challenges to start working on them. This is more so an issue with the super tedious weapon grind in Vanguard, combined with the fact that you have to level up your gun in order to unlock the camo challenges. And with some of these, it's kind of weird. You can unlock the camo challenge, but that camo challenge requires you to use an attachment that you have to further level your gun up to unlock in order to even start working on that challenge anyway. So it's unlocked, but you can't do it yet. And with this, it's a fairly simple fix. Ideally, you would just make it so the weapon grind is a lot more reasonable, so it doesn't feel as though it's taking forever just to unlock the camo challenges in the first place. Or another idea is separate camo challenges from weapon leveling. Perhaps go back to the old school way of handling this, where you unlock extra camo challenges as you get more headshots. Back in the day, you had to get like 100 or 150 headshots, and then that is what would unlock the next set of challenges. Maybe they could do a hybrid system, so it's structured similar to what we're seeing now, but instead of weapon levels to unlock that next tier of challenges, you have to get X number of headshots. And as you get more and more headshots, you unlock more and more tiers, while simultaneously completing your headshot challenges, obviously. The great thing about this is no matter what, you always have the ability to be working on a camo challenge until all of your camos are complete. Whereas with Vanguard's current system, if you're really efficient going through your camo challenges as you're also leveling up a gun, sometimes you'll run into that situation where you've completed every camo challenge that's currently available to you, and you don't have any more challenges to work on until you continue leveling up your gun. And that should never be the case in my mind. If you're on that camo grind, you should always have something to be able to work towards, no matter what. Next up on my issues with certain camo challenges that we've seen in the past, these are camo challenges that rely too heavily on what the enemy is using or doing in the game. So some examples of this would be in Cold War, we had to get kills against enemies that were using cover. Or in some games, I believe we had challenges where you had to get kills when the enemy had a UAV or a counter UAV in the air. Or there's other challenges where you have to destroy one specific type of kill streak that turns out to be very uncommon, like sentry guns, for instance, in some older Call of Duty games. I remember them being so rare that you had to run care package and actively throw the enemy team your care packages, hoping that they would get a sentry gun so that you could then destroy that, which is ridiculous, and once again goes back to encouraging or forcing undesirable playstyles that actually harm the gameplay experience, because you're harming your team by throwing the enemy team care packages, for instance. Basically what I'm saying here is challenges should be at least very largely under your control as an individual and not overly reliant on what the enemy is doing or using. And with that, that pretty much wraps it up for the primary issues with camo challenges that I've noticed over the past many years of Call of Duty. Honestly, for most of the camo challenges that we've seen, I'm actually really happy with how they've been organizing things, and I quite like grinding for camo challenges in COD. I just feel there are these handful of issues that, if resolved, would lead to a much better gameplay experience, where the camo challenges are truly an enhancement or addition to the gameplay, rather than a simple tool to squeeze as much playtime out as possible, even if it means a lot of players' frustration and potential burnout. And just a couple final notes here on camo challenges in general. I do think the Mastery Camo Challenge, so Atomic or Dark Matter, Damascus, whatever you want to call it, this should still take a fairly considerable amount of time and dedication in order to unlock. I know it might sound like with a lot of my issues with these camo challenges that I just want everything to be easier and done faster, and that's not how I feel. I feel like the amount of time required to unlock it should still be fairly considerable. Otherwise, it does take away from the excitement and the prestige of earning that top camo. At the same time, though, what I am asking for is more positive gameplay engagement throughout the process of earning this. And also, I really like the idea of having the Obsidian style camo that really shows that extra dedication to a particular weapon. Now, for those that don't know, the Obsidian camo is a camo that you could earn for each individual gun. You didn't need to have Damascus unlocked in order to get this. All you needed was to get the gun gold first, and then beyond that, you had to use that weapon a ton. So I think the challenge for assault rifles, for instance, was get 15 kills in a single match 300 times. And that would stack, so if you got 30 kills, that would count as 2 toward your progress. I like the idea of having that as an additional grind, just for those people that want to go above and beyond the Mastery Camo in the game. I think there should always be a grind available for those that choose to grind. Now, of course, all of this is just my opinion, and this is where I want to hear from you guys in the comment section below. First up, do you agree with a lot of the issues that I've laid out here with the camo challenge systems that we've seen in recent Call of Duty games? And also, do you have any other notes or hopes for a future camo challenge in Call of Duty? Just let me know all of those thoughts down below. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.